I said this once and I said it before, dog. I've seen you look ridiculous in your day. You're bumping the microphone.
What up, baby?
We got Dom Mysterio, and not the Dom Mysterio, that everyone loves and hates. We got Raider Dom here.
Football is back, baby. We in the building. What up, y'all?
What up, dude?
Shit, it's Sunday. It's the first Sunday of many good Sundays to come. This week has gotten kicked off to a great start, and I'm super stoked. I'm not going to be able to stay like this forever, but I had to show the people that.
I'm just curious how long you going to have that shit on you.
The Raider Luchador had to come out today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will be wearing this again at kickoff. And it just is what it is. We're playing the fucking, the shocks. We won't even call them the bolts. It's like when you get, when you got a little too much static electricity from running your feet across the carpet and you touch a piece of metal and you get that. That's all they are.
That's all they are.
You know what I mean? There's just a little, but that's it.
What's the wife say when you're out here with your fucking luchador mask and I know DJ down with it.
No comment when it comes to the luchador mask and the wife, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm just playing. Everybody knows me and how I gets down on a regular
Unapologetically
basis.
Dom.
Unapologetically.
Hey, I fucks with it, man. I mean,
like it, leave it, love it.
I guess I could have, if I'd have known you was rocking the mask, I'd have brought my Dolphins mask.
You should have known.
And we could have really got down.
You should have known.
But I should have known.
You should have known.
I should have known. If it's one thing I know about Dom, is Dom's got a flair for the theatrics.
I almost wore shoulder pads.
Yo, do you think DJs would fit you?
They probably would. But I was talking about with spikes in them, like the LOD, baby.
I don't think. I think.
Rush. Remember that?
Hell yeah, I remember Legion of Doom. Do you remember what they were before the Legion of Doom?
Badasses, boy.
You remember what they were before the Legion of Doom?
I don't.
Road Warriors. That's what they were at WCW.
Right. That's right, Road Warriors.
And then when they came,
they even introduced them, the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom.
Yeah,
several times. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, bro. So. You said it, dog. 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks since we got together, and it's the greatest 2 weeks of the year.
Yeah, man, we've been busy. Football's NFL's getting into the swing of things. Colleges, already started.
I got to talk to you about that, too.
I know.
I got to talk to you about that. Being these last 2 weeks, bro, like, if you can have an overdose on football, I think we probably come pretty close. I know I've come pretty close, but thankfully you can't. Thankfully, football's not fentanyl. That should be the slogan: football, not fentanyl.
I'll tell you what, bro. You're right. Like, honestly, that's why yesterday was so fulfilling for me, because these last few weeks, bro, it has been like, when's wrestling season start? Because this shit has been.
Have you been like that already?
I have, bro.
Really?
It's crazy, but you got to think, like, I'm going, 6-7 days a week with football.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
And it's straight from work, high school, youth, rewash and start again.
You keep trying to bring a motherfucker back to high school now. You see why I'm fucking hesitant, dog.
And it's great, bro. But then it's like, do I want to continue to do this for how long? And do I want to just enjoy the game and watch the game and be a spectator?
Now, you sounding like I was sounding like about 4 weeks ago.
But then, like, coaching our boys, bro, and, like, just seeing, like, the transition from struggling with the new unit at the high school level a little bit, trying to implement assignment with older kids has been a little tough. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But with our guys, they get it.
Yeah.
And they're 9 and 10-year-olds, bro. And for 9 and 10-year-olds to be able to just grasp the concept of that concepts were thrown at them, it's rewarding, it's fulfilling as a coach. And yesterday was just probably one of the best days in a long time when it comes to football in that regard, because I really appreciated yesterday. D'Angelo sealing that edge on that block he struggled with. That kid was kicking our ass, and on that one touchdown play, he made that block.
Well, and it's funny that you say that, too, because the play before that, I was like, dude, you got to block that guy because he had missed the block. You know what I mean? And I was like, dude, you got to block that guy. Like, that's your guy. And I was like, fuck it, let's go back to that play.
Yeah,
and he went back to the same play, and he sealed that shit off.
And you know, could it be the drip? Everybody was drippy yesterday. We were on grass, and everybody's in turf tape. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Coach Dom in the theatrics, bro. So we're drippy. We make him a captain.
I was proud of that kid,
and he
dude.
played a great game, bro. Like, that confidence that we just gave that kid, a kid who struggled last year.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there were times where in practice he would make a minor mistake and just carry it so hard. You know, it impacted him. And at first I was like, you know, we're going to have to really kind of treat this one a little bit different, nurturing a little bit more. And honestly, he's just hard on himself. He wants to be the best out there, and I love it, bro. He's always coming, ready to work.
Every day I see him, he's like,
great attitude, bro. And
every day I see him, he's like, Coach Al, I've been studying my plays.
He knows them.
Coach Al, I've been doing. I'm like, hell yeah. And then yesterday he's like, Coach Al, you want to put me at quarterback? I'm like,
hey, the sky's the limit.
Like, I love it, D. Yo, I made it a point yesterday. I made it a point to talk to his parents yesterday.
Yeah.
And let them know because, you know, I don't think parents see it all the time.
No.
I don't think because they're not out on the field all the time. You know what I mean? They get to watch from a distance, and the mask comes off, folks.
They're starting to just.
But they see from a distance sometimes, dog, and they don't get to see what we see up close. And sometimes they may not understand why their kids not playing a position or not getting this kind of time or this or that or whatever the case may be. But I made it a point yesterday to talk to his parents after the game and pointed out, you know, some of the great things he did in that game, some of the great things he's done in practice over the last, you know, month. Mm-hmm. And he's a different kid than he was last year. Last year, I mean, he definitely was a lot more timid. And, you know, his mistakes, like you said, he carried those like wet clothes, you know what I mean? And so I just wanted to give his parents, you know, I want to give him props in front of his parents.
Yeah.
I think that's important sometimes. Exactly. Like, you know, who knows, you know how it is to ride back home.
Yeah.
You know, we always coaching our kid even when someone else is coaching them, you know? Yeah. And so I just wanted to make sure that they understood, like, hey, you know, he did great. And then I went up to him, what's up, Captain?
Yeah.
And dude, that like I told you on the field that, and, you know, he was like, oh, I'm so excited to be a captain.
Yeah. His parents were too, like they were locked arms to arms before the coin toss, right? And, you know, it was kind of taken forever because we had only the two refs.
Yeah.
And I could just see mom and dad real excited, both taking pictures of him locked arms with his brothers. You know what I mean? Him and Elia up there, you know, two of the kids who, you know, have had their ups and downs, but have been a part of this. And,
for sure.
And, you know, have grown so much. It's just, it was cool to see those kids get that shine. You know, last year I think we were locked in on our alphas being the captains all the time. And I think not only did maybe that get to our alphas a little bit, you know, they needed a little bit of, we couldn't be leaders without getting the credit all the time, a little bit of that sense of humbling, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then also it empowered a lot of our other guys to just work harder to get that weekly captain spot. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, our alphas are still our alphas.
Yeah.
But
it's important to get them kids feeling that
confidence.
It's like, hey, you know what? Especially if they've been working hard.
Yeah. And
that one in particular, he's been working really hard.
Yeah.
And so it's important to kind of reward that stuff, dude. I'm big on that kind of thing. You know, it's sometimes it can go unnoticed. Sometimes you're like, well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yeah, it's what you're supposed to do. But also there should be a precedent set that there should be reward for doing the right thing.
Exactly.
And so I thought it was great that you gave him that captainhood yesterday. And, you know, we could have scored a lot more points than we did, I think.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not ashamed of it. I think I was pressing at the end there, like, let's score it. And, you know, Mercy coach came in and was like, you know what, dude, these guys aren't going to win. Our guys, there's a lesson to be learned here too.
Yeah, you know, we finished it 21-6, right? But I honestly felt like that game was more like 40-0.
It felt much more like the first game of the year.
It did, bro. Like, we kind of dominated every little facet of the game, you know, and they got the 1-6 where the kid steps out of bounds clearly, but, you know, they were short on officials. And so what are you going to do about that? Like, they didn't see it. It happens. The kid, needless to say, we were talking before. He wasn't no 3 yards out, you know.
But he was out.
But he was out.
Yeah.
He stepped out. But,
Yeah.
like, even if there was a ref there was a possibility that they miss him going out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the kid still scampered up the sideline for a big gainer. So, like, we should have did our job regardless of the situation. And shout out to them. But other than that, bro, it's pretty much a Wolfpack game.
Well, you know, and it's hard to manufacture adversity.
Yeah.
So if you can find a way in a game to have some adversity, it goes a long way in building towards the end of the prize goal or end of the season goal, right? And you know, in that situation, being down 6-0 because of a play that they shouldn't have actually got credit for a touchdown. All right, what are you guys gonna do?
Yeah.
And I was proud of my guys. We did that next drive was a long drive.
It was.
We killed the first quarter and scored into the second. And but it was also a tone setting drive for us. I think, you know, getting the ground game going. So the night before, I changed my whole game plan. Like, not necessarily the whole game plan, but in terms of what I was going to call first. I was ready to go, like, air it out a little bit and do this and that. And my thoughts was like, man, you know what? I think with DJ in the middle, with some of the guys we got in our middle, can really pound the ball. Let's fucking pound this ball a little bit and let's see what we can do. And I thought that, you know, everyone wants the flair. Everyone wants what's open, and you know, sometimes you got to set some things up, and there's a method to the madness. And so I was like, yo, we're gonna set this shit up because later on we're gonna have the edge all we want.
Yeah, and honestly, that 21-6 was very satisfying. Like I said, it was one of the most rewarding wins in a long time. And the score was an indication, right? It should have been. I mean, Eddie catches that pass.
He was
a yard short.
He literally fell like at the 1 inch line, dude.
Yeah.
And had the presence of mind to roll into the end zone just in case.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
NFL, bro, that's touchdown.
yeah.
You
And
know what
it's
I mean?
funny, all the parents like, that's 6, he didn't get touched. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, you
on
gotta-
Sundays.
See, and that's the difference, right? That's why we're where we are, and we're not yelling that touchdown.
But it's cool though because you know what? We coach these kids. Sometimes we get to coach the parents too, and that's cool too because you know what? This game of football, man, like we've been blessed to be able to be around it for so long that we have some knowledge of the game.
Yep.
And it's nice to be able to share that knowledge with parents. Parents a lot of times are just casual fans.
Yes.
This might be they might watch the Broncos on Sunday or some shit like that, but it's good to see some real football. No, I'm just playing.
But in all, exactly. In all honesty, too, like you got to think about it, bro. Like when a kid makes a play like that, right? Like going up, getting it, coming down, and like losing your balance, but like effort play.
Dog, the effort to get his hands underneath the ball,
A full
laid
effort
out.
play. Like he laid out and got that ball.
Yeah.
That is almost rewarding of give that kid that 6.
Yeah.
Dog. You know what I'm saying? So I get the parents also saying, come on, like give it to us.
The other coach thought it was a touchdown.
Yeah. And it was hard to tell, honestly,
Yeah.
even from, I think because those fields on that side are way too bunched up. So, like, I could not see the sideline really. There was a couple times where I thought we scored and we must have went out, got stopped, but because the players, the parents, everybody's so close, it was almost impossible to see what's going on.
Did you see the 40-yard line on the north side of the 50? I looked like a motherfucker painted that line after happy hour, dog. Even the referee was like, yeah, you see, that's kind of bowed out. Like, it literally bowed out a little bit, bro. Like, it was pretty funny. But, nah, dude, I mean, football overload isn't a bad thing. It's great, dude. I love seeing our guys get – and after that loss, that was a tough loss a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
I mean, really, we should be 3-0.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? Tough loss, but it is what it is. It's good to see our kids bounce back.
Yeah.
They weren't afraid to bounce back. And, you know, that's kind of what you're looking for. You're like, how are you guys going to react after taking a dumb L?
Yep.
And to see them bounce back was nice.
Yeah, and we're going into our our true home game, right? We were just talking like home game, but we were on the road. We had to travel 2 hours to get to a home game. You know what I mean? But
traffic is bullshit.
Yeah, but this is our true home game.
Bro.
We're playing a familiar opponent, you know, an opponent that we played last year, an opponent that
we had some
you know, some
words and
some
questions
words
and
with
beef.
it. You know, they were not very happy about the outcome of the game last year, and I don't think it's gonna, you know, I think this year's gonna feel the same. But it's a good feeling coming off of the bye, getting a good solid team win, going into our first debut at our beautiful home stadium.
Yeah.
And now we get to play a team that we're familiar with and get prepared for a team that we haven't seen, and it's going to be our toughest challenge yet. Yeah. And I'm excited for these next 2 weeks of football, bro.
It's fun because, you know, you get the whole whenever you got the other team sitting there bitching wanting to see birth certificates, and, you know, that's when you know you've been doing something right there.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to get it, strap it up, and go again. You know, all the football. You know, I kind of been feeling opposite of what you're feeling.
Yeah,
like I haven't been coaching football, but I've been doing a lot of football. We did fucking 2, 3, 4 games last week.
Yeah.
The game this week, and then our games and our stuff. Like it's with doing the PA stuff now. That shit's fun. Seeing ball, and it's nice not being on the sideline and being able to be like, all right, game's done.
Yeah,
pack shit up. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah.
But it's been reinvigorating a little bit with the game, and I always get into that, man. I fucking hate the dog days of August, you know, and it seems like when September hits, passion for the game goes up a little bit. So.
Yeah. Speaking of PA, we need to find a PA for our game next week.
Oh, for the kid game?
Yeah. I mean, during our time of the game, and then afterwards we'll figure it out. Or you could do it if you want. If you're down. If you ain't got.
You want me to PA all the games?
If you got a whole fucking.
All the
day.
Wolfpack games, or are you talking about the Pinnacle games?
About the whole Pinnacle games. Or we just find a PA guy.
Do you not have a PA at Pinnacle?
No, I mean not for that day. Not for us. I don't think.
Let's talk off air because my next game for DPS is like 10-10.
Yeah.
So that might be something.
All of our we got 2 back-to-back home games and then a road game, and then we finish at home. So
I might be down.
Those are all options.
I might be down. Let's talk about that because I might be down. That's definitely something I enjoy doing, bro. Like it's cool. I've got coaches hitting me up. It's funny. I got some of our coaching friends like, yo, what do they look like? What does this team look like? And I'm like, yo, I ain't trying to be nobody's spy.
Yeah.
But holler at me. But, yo, you said it, though, dog. Fucking opening Sunday in football.
It is.
We got college football's going in full swing now. Matt, what'd you think about the bus yesterday, dude?
Honestly, I didn't see a lot of it.
Yeah.
I was off and on with it. The time I got home, bro, because we ended up stopping at Buc-ee's, and then getting home. And by the time I got home, it was just so late. We had a couple of the boys came over after the game just to chill. Like Eddie and Teo, of course, was over. And I kept going back and forth, bro, but it was irritating.
It was.
See, like, but down as big as we were down, you know what I mean? Like,
dog, they had opportunities. They foiled. I'm a little disappointed and I'm a little worried.
Yeah.
Because nothing's been fixed in terms of running game.
Yeah.
Running game was horrid. Negative 17 yards going into halftime. They end up finishing with 0 yards.
Mm-hmm.
There's no commitment to the running game.
Yeah.
Shador's great, but he gets hit a lot.
Yeah.
More than he probably should.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Pat Shurmur fan.
I was skeptical from the very get with Pat Shurmur, honestly.
There's no creativity, bro.
No.
You know?
Yeah. I think when you have weapons like that, you have to be creative, bro. Like, you see all these college teams that are fucking blowing the scoreboard up.
Well, just look at fucking Nebraska's offense, dude. Yeah. With the freshman quarterback. That quarterback's the truth, by the way.
Yeah.
Dylan Raiola, that kid's the truth.
Yeah.
But just the things that they were doing, the creativity in their offense, like you can have all the studs you want, but if you get out schemed, you get out schemed, dog.
Yeah.
And they did a great job taking Travis Hunter out the game. You know, and I guess it helps when your quarterback got 2 seconds and has to get rid of the ball. The Buffs moved the ball a lot better when they went to more of a quick passing, you know, scheme. But I didn't like Shador's demeanor. You know, Shiloh got hurt and broken arm.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder. I love the prime effect of what we've gotten so far. I just wonder if it's too hands on. And then I also wonder, offensively, is it not hands on enough?
Yeah.
Because dude, I do not feel what Shermer's doing with that offense, dude. And it's early still, but it's not going to get any easier. You know, and you know now you've got, you know, here soon you're going to be getting into your conference schedule, and the Big 12 isn't going to be easy. You know, you got Colorado State next week. That should be a game that's winnable. But
I mean, look at last year.
They should have done a lot more against North Dakota State's a good team.
Yeah.
But it still is an FCS team.
Yeah.
And they had to squeak that one out, almost lost it in the end because of poor play calling, poor decision making.
Yeah.
You know, that lack of commitment to the run game. Like, you know, I know I'm an offensive lineman, and so when I speak run game, a lot of times, like, people roll their eyes because, you know, what else would you rather do, right? But that lack of commitment to the run game is going to make them windows in the passing game close up.
For sure.
Because if I can just fucking leave 6 in the box because I know you can't run against 6 and I'm going to have 5 in coverage, I don't give a shit how good your guys are, especially if you can't hold up in pass protection. If you can't hold up in pass protection, dude, forget about it. You know, I've always felt like a great cornerback is only good if they've got a great pass rush.
For sure.
Because you can't cover for fucking 5 seconds. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I'm a little concerned. Hopefully they can right the ship and get it right. They've definitely got the athletes. The one thing with the transfer portal, and it's nice to be able to get new talent in, but it's also there's something to be said about continuity and about chemistry. And it was obvious yesterday. You could tell which team had been together for a couple of years putting the chemistry together and which team hasn't, and especially up in the trenches. And I don't give a shit what nobody says, man. If you're not winning the trenches, you might as well not win. You're not going to win the game most times.
Do you think the prime effect, as far as like not everybody's prime, right? Like, so when you get coached by prime, bro, and somebody like prime, you often try to emulate, right? Like you try to, you know, inherit some of that dog mentality, and you may be a high-end athlete, you know, but you may not be humble enough to be able to be that high-end dog and, you know what I mean, still get the job done and be able to talk that shit.
I think.
And I don't, like, do you think in some cases we're getting some guys in from the portal that, you know, are a little bit too much of that and not, you know, showing it on Saturdays? You
know, the only thing that worries me about guys that we get in from the portal is they're in the portal for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, why did they enter the portal?
Exactly.
Right? So that always gives you a little bit of a pause and makes you wonder, like, well, these guys are in the portal. What happened? What brought them to that point?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. You know what I think? I don't think we got enough lunch pail motherfuckers over there. I don't think we got enough dudes that are just willing to, you know, I think there's a balance that should be played. Like, I'm all about look good, play good, feel good, all that good stuff. But there's also something about being a dog, you know, and about being able to you put your nose in there and get dirty with it. You know what I mean? And I think it's also at the positions in which you have those dogs. Like, you can have them. Travis Hunter, he's a dog, but you need a running back that's a dog. Mm-hmm. You need somebody that runs with some nastiness. Maybe an offensive lineman like be a little nasty, and maybe that's coming. Maybe Seton will turn into that.
Yeah, because he's a young kid.
Yeah, maybe that's coming. But you need some nastiness, and you know what, man? I also think I wonder how much of, you know, people complain and say daddy ball And it's not daddy ball because the kids of his that are playing in positions, they're worthy of those positions, right?
Yeah.
Like their talent wise, their talent says they should be in those positions. But I also wonder how much of that is one of those things where maybe some other guys rolling the eyes.
Yeah.
Or maybe, what's going on behind the scenes, because it doesn't seem like they play together. It doesn't seem like they play for each other. They just go out there and play.
A bunch of individuals.
Yeah, bro. And you can't have that, dude. You know as well as anybody, man. You can't have that on your team, man.
Yeah.
You gotta have these guys. They gotta be playing for each other, man. They gotta be all about each other. And I don't see that with CU right now, bro. I didn't see that last year with CU.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. And when you lose a guy like Shiloh, like what's that do for us? You know what I mean? Like, or we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll
maybe it'll be somebody up.
We'll see if it'll impact us, or if we'll see if we'll get somebody else in there, that will kind of take away from that feeling now that there's not two sons on the field. You know what I'm saying?
And I didn't like the way the season started with Prime going at it with reporters and blackballing people from being able to ask questions. Like let's make the game about the game, right? Like all this other stuff is just other stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Like the game needs to be about the game and not necessarily about all the other shit going on, man. And at times I feel, although I love the flair, there's no denying, what Prime has meant to CU. And, since him coming here and just the different, the new things that are happening on campus, the buzz and all that stuff, man. You've got to, at some point, man, it's got to be about football and about X's and O's and not just about swag and media coverage and this and that, bro. Like, we got to get to a point where these fellas are playing for each other and, the game means more to them than just the image of them playing.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we're at a point where we're not there yet. And so that's my only worry, bro.
Yeah, it's just tough because damn well that, like, he's hearing it 10 times over and over and over again that he's going to be gone or this and that, and he's not this and they're not that, and constantly the ridicule and in the media by his peers, by his ex-players and all these things going on, which it happens, but it is magnified when it's Prime, but that's also what he invites.
Well, I was gonna say,
right?
It goes with the territory. When you come in, talk about bringing your Louis.
Yeah.
You got to understand that's, and I don't think, I think Coach Prime understands that fully. I don't think that's an issue for him to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think he gets it. He played like that, and so he used to get that when he played, right? So I agree with you. Like, yeah, if you invite that in, you got to expect people to talk shit, But at the same time, man, it's like, who cares what people think? We got to get this right.
Yeah, but when you're putting in the work and you're, the dog days of the summer, and you're going into the season and then you're not performing how you're underperforming, plus all that, bro, any man would easily say, you know what, I'm not gonna take these questions. You're blackballed from the locker room or whatever the case may be. Like, I get it, and I also think you're right. It should not be taken away from the game, but at this point, it's a big part of the game.
I just like to see these boys get back to football.
Yeah.
Get back to football. Like, TCU game last year, it was all football. You know what I mean? Like, let's get back to football. Let's get back to playing buff ball. You can't wish a run game to come up out of nowhere. You got to scheme it out. Like, we can't and this is where I wonder where the daddy ball thing comes into play. Like, are we trying to get Shedeur a Heisman Trophy? Or are we trying to get Shedeur a national title? Because right now it seems like we're trying to get Shedeur a Heisman. And I think if we started playing the game in a sense of, like, better at the running game and maybe it takes a hit to the passing numbers. But, I think Shedeur winning goes further than him winning a Heisman, because if he's winning, that Heisman stuff will come with it, right? Like, if you're winning games, all that talk is going to come with it. But the minute you stop winning games, look at last year, man. First 4 games, him and Travis Hunter are being mentioned for all these different awards, and then they lose. They win one of their last 6 games or one of the last 5 games, and all that stuff kind of goes out the window at that point. So I think it's important that they kind of figure it out, get back to football, and make it about football, man, and it'll shut up all these critics, dude, because right now they're waiting to pounce. It's just like when Mayweather boxed and people waiting for him to lose. Well, right now, man, there's a lot of people, a lot of naysayers that are waiting just to tell Coach Prime. I told you it wouldn't work. Told you this wasn't the right idea. Told you didn't know what you were doing. There's a ton of people waiting to do that, and that's just how people are, bro. That's just how the game goes sometimes, right? Like, it's a sick part of athletics. Yeah. It's a sick part of life. There's always somebody waiting to tell you that you couldn't do it. But, it's early, a lot of football left, and a lot of opportunity for them to get that right.
Ooh, that was a good block.
You like that there, don't you?
That's a good block there. Nah, you're right, bro. But honestly, I still stand on. I think he's changed a lot. He's brought,
and these are
a different aura and element to football, to college football. But not only the whole game of college football, but specifically here at CU. And I'm a fan of him, bro.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing good things. And I'm a fan of Shador. I think Shador, I don't know if we're necessarily trying to get him a Heisman, but I think, like you said, that run game ain't there. The protection isn't there. You know what I mean? So, like, I think at some point, I think it's just him trying to make some shit happen, too.
Well, and that run game's another layer of protection, right?
Yeah.
Like, dog, we came out yesterday. I think we had 1 run in the first 2 or 3 drives yesterday. And then the runs that we were doing, fucking 4th and 1, 4th and 2, we're going to go ahead and do a read option, which we haven't done all game long. Yeah. Like, at that point, go to what you're good at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look, I said all that. I wouldn't change anything with Coach Prime. I wouldn't change a single thing of him coming here. To think about where Colorado football was at just 2 years ago, the worst team in college football, being blown out in every single – God damn it. Yeah. Being blown out in every single game, besides the one they won, not covering in 10 of 11 games. Like, they were bad, historically bad. And for them to come back last year, win 4 games, I still think they can get bowl eligible this year. It's going to take some work. It's not going to be, I don't think right now the way it looks, they're not going to be competing for that playoff. But, they have opportunity to kind of change the momentum of the season and change people's thoughts. It's the great thing about 12 teams getting in now is once you get into conference play, some things can change. Yeah. So.
And, yeah, for sure. And in all honesty, bro, like, it's early.
Yeah.
It's early. Last week was the first test on the road, and now, like, we got to snap back, bro. Yep. We got to bounce back. It happens. That's what football's about. We got to go back to the drawing board and see what we can do.
Well, and you had to know fucking Nebraska was coming, especially after how we did them last year here at home, right? Mm-hmm. So you had to know that was happening.
And everybody's coming.
Yeah.
Like, everybody it's crazy how, like...
Again, speak to that Prime effect.
Yeah, like how Prime has become, like, the number 1 targeted team in college football. Probably, like, people want to beat CU more than they want to beat the national champs.
Yep.
It's crazy to me,
they're getting everyone's best go at it.
Yeah.
Getting everyone's best go at it, dude. And, I mean, that speaks a lot right in itself. Because for the years prior to that, with the exception of, I think, the 16 season, CU was kind of just a flyover game. Like, hey, we got CU, should be a good win for us. Like, you know what I mean? No big deal. Let's go in and handle our business. And it wasn't like that last year. It's not like that this year. It's quite opposite. Now it's like, yo, let's go give our best because everyone knows, man, like that's the darling. And I'd be interested to see what the number was for last night's game, in terms of media coverage. They draw ratings.
Yeah.
Every single time because when they don't like you and they want to see you do bad, people are going to tune in to see you do bad, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's just the natural role of the way things go. So,
what do you think with both the 3 of his boys, right? Because Travis is a son. What do you think with the 3 of them, on the brinks of being done? this last year. You know what I'm saying? Going into the NFL probably. Um, what do you think about Prime's future? Like, do you think what are all the talks? Like, is he leaving? Is he staying? And what do you think that does to CU when he's gone? Like, do you think all the attention leaves, or do you think CU kind of tries to bring someone in who is equally, you know, that much of a gain from a coaching perspective? Oh, damn.
I think as long as Prime's here, the attention's going to be here.
Yeah.
Regardless of if his kids are on the field or not. I actually I'm hopeful that he sticks around, and I look forward to that because I want to see what he can do when it's not his kids. Because I'm not claiming they're playing daddy ball, but I do think there's something there.
Yeah.
Like, I do think that's an issue. Like, and you know, again, his kids are uber talented. They deserve the positions they're playing. I'm not saying that they're getting any kind of special treatment in terms of playing when they shouldn't be playing. But I'm kind of excited to see what it looks like without them because I want to see how he can inspire when it's just other players. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to see what he can do because he's a very inspirational person.
Yeah.
And you know they're recruiting great high school players. They're having all these good top level talent come in for visits and stuff like that. So I just kind of want to see what it looks like when it's not his kids, and you know, seeing if that effect still works.
You know, it's kind of messed up that it seems that way. Even, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because like honestly, I just think it's because they get so much attention.
Yeah.
Right. They get they are the focal point.
Yeah.
They get that attention, and for a young college athlete who, you know, is probably just as equally, you know, deserving of that same type of attention anywhere else, is not getting it here.
Yeah.
That's hard to swallow. That's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of kids. You know, I think that's kind of the thing that happened a little bit with Dylan Edwards, right? Like, he came in, he was supposed to be that guy,
Yeah.
and it didn't turn out to be that way, bro. And you didn't see him getting a lot of the you know, the looks and media attention on the social media and everything like that. Like, he was very quiet. Like, he was behind the scenes.
And some people that can rub them the wrong way, and it can affect who they become as a player, and it can hinder their development. And so, yeah, man, there's a lot of that, and I think that's really the daddy ball effect, right?
Yeah.
It's not about playing these other players. It's just about the focus that these other players garner, and it's not their fault. I mean, Shedeur Sanders is a top prospect at quarterback. You know what I mean? Travis Hunter's the best player in college football. It's not their fault. You know, blame God. You know what I'm saying? But I think, like I said, let's get back to playing ball.
For sure.
Let's get back to playing ball. And I'm interested to see, because, you know, just like we talked about Nebraska having something for CU, I guarantee you CSU's going to have something for CU. And it's the first time CU's been up in Fort Collins in, you know, over a decade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's going to be something to that, bro. Like, you know, it's not going to be easy next week, you know. And CSU, they coming off a victory over Northern Colorado, and say what you will about Northern Colorado, you know, but they did what they're supposed to. They blew them out. Yeah. You know, and it's not going to be easy next week for CU. They have to get back to playing ball, and if they can't control the trenches a little bit, it's gonna be a long season, bro.
And they're at Canvas this year. They're not at Folsom, so
no.
You know they're gonna want to put it on them.
Yep.
That crowd's gonna be roaring, and you know it's gonna be more than just a regular game for CSU, bro. They're gonna take it seriously. Like, after the way last year's game ended, they wanna. You know, put it on CU. So, and
there's this feeling with CU and CSU where it's like CU's like this snobby fucking big brother, like the rich kid in the family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas CSU's not. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why CU hasn't been to Fort Collins for a number of years. You know what I mean? Like, as almost as if they don't deserve it. And so there's going to be that kind of that feel, dude. And you know what, man? It starts going south, bro. It's going to go south pretty quickly. Yeah. So it's going to be very important for Shermer to call a good game. And that's the other thing, man, is their offense couldn't sustain nothing. And so that defense, I didn't think the defense yesterday, I don't think the defense did too bad. I thought the defense did okay considering. They gave up 21 points. There was a touchdown scored on the pick six, right? I thought the defense did okay considering. They were on the field a lot. Yeah. They were on the field in compromising situations. I can't tell you how many times Nebraska had great field position, So we're going to see, bro. We're fixing to find out. We know where we're at, bro. The game's always decided in the trenches. You know what I mean? Game's always decided in the trenches.
Yeah.
So.
And in all honesty, bro, again, it's early, so let's see what happens.
Yeah. What you been catching any other college ball?
A little bit, but with us playing on Saturdays, it's kind of tough to.
Just think about the U, man. Cam Ward over there, fucking Cam Ward, dude.
Crazy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He could have came out last year, decided to stick around, got that NIL deal to go to Miami. And I thought it was funny a couple weeks ago when they beat Florida. Yeah. They're sitting there at the end of the game in the bushes talking to the recruits like, don't come here.
Yeah.
We run Florida. Yeah. Don't come here. It reminded me of that old style U. You know what I mean? And then you got teams like, Alabama. They're not skipping a beat.
Yeah.
I thought that LSU USC game was a good game. I don't know if you caught any of that.
You know which game I missed that I really wanted to see was that Notre Dame game, bro. DJ's like
yesterday or last week's?
Last week's.
Because yesterday, you seen what happened to them yesterday, didn't you?
I didn't watch nothing yesterday.
Oh, dog. Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois yesterday.
No way.
16-14, dog. Yeah, bro. Shit the bed, dude.
Oh my God.
I don't know about that quarterback they got, bro. I don't know that he's the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's that's what I love about college football early. And you know what the great thing with the playoff and everything now is sometimes them losses won't be as big. Mm-hmm. Like you can still recover from them losses. But it's gonna take some work. Oh, son of a bitch.
Speaking of football, man, it's starting. What do you think about the opening week of NFL football? I
didn't get to watch
the Packers.
I didn't get to watch the Packer game yesterday or Friday because I was working.
Yeah.
Caught the tail end of it. Dude, do you think Jalen Hurts is legit still?
Yes.
Do you? He made some mistakes in that game, bro, that were just, I don't know if it's like his athleticism. When you're a good athlete, sometimes you try to force some shit.
Yeah.
The NFL will never lose, bro. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, they're not losing, dude. Like, fucking playing on a Friday night from Brazil, playing on Thursday night, playing, now you got Sunday night, Monday night. Like, dog, these motherfuckers are not losing.
Is it going to be oversaturated at some point?
We crave that shit, dude. We love it.
I mean, the thing is we're trying to fill it with other football leagues, right? And it's just not the NFL. And so why not take up every day of the week?
I would like to see the NFL get behind some of these like spring leagues a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that would be dope. They're not going to lose no money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think maybe it's the back and forth on the contracts or something, but they ain't going to lose no money if they do. It'd be nice to see though. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
Like they haven't done anything that's required to be fixed. I always used to think that the NFL would never play on Friday nights because he used to say like Friday nights belong to high school.
Yeah. So
I was kind of disappointed this year to see them playing on a Friday night. They're gonna play on Wednesday this year for Christmas, and then they dominate the off season. Like how often? Like they're dog. Like you can do football 365 days a year. Talking about it, like on the pod, we always talking about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those games where you can do that just because there's just man. It's just it drives ratings. So I don't know, man. I'm excited for the season. We didn't really talk much about who we seeing as like potential. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think, honestly, potential, you talked about Jalen Hurts and Philly, bro, but the addition of Saquon Barkley there, I think, is going to be.
He had himself a game. Was that DJ that drafted him in our fantasy, or is that you?
It was him, but I was contemplating taking him number 1 overall over Derrick Henry, and I was going him, Christian McCaffrey, or Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Christian McCaffrey, bro, because I'm a big superstitious guy, too. And the Madden curse There's only a few have been able to escape that Madden curse, bro. Like, so, hopefully he escapes it. Hopefully he has a great year, but I didn't draft him because of that.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, I was on the fence with because of, what you've seen in the game. Like, what is he going to get? How many carries is he actually going to have? You know what I mean? Like, what's his role going to be there? And I think we've seen that, this opening week. But
I didn't think he played horrible.
He didn't, but he didn't have the game I was expecting, right? Like, I expected that game out of Saquon, and I think we're going to see a lot of that. Don't be surprised if Saquon isn't one of the top or the top fantasy back this year.
Well,
if he stays healthy.
Dog, just the options he offers out of the backfield in terms of being able to catch the ball too, and some of his versatility and his shiftiness, bro. Like, he should be that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he should be. And I know injuries have come into play a lot, but he should be that dude, without a doubt. Just like that dude right there.
Yeah. But that game was crazy. I thought it was like the ending of it was freaking ridiculous, bro. The Ravens and the Chiefs, like,
his toe was on the line, dog.
It was. And what do you think about that? Like, I get it. The NFL receivers and tight ends and running backs even are so damn talented, bro. To be able to get 2 feet in all the time in some of those situations is crazy.
It's almost like you expect it, right?
Yeah, but like, damn, bro, like that much of his toe on there for real? Like what's I guess the hard line is the hard line, right? You can't be on the fucking line.
God damn it.
But, I should have stood in there. What am I doing?
I didn't mean to throw it to him. I meant to throw it to fucking Laporta.
But like, damn, dog. Like, if anyone was deserving of them to just give him the touchdown there, that was a great play. He had a phenomenal game, bro. Like,
what do you think about how the NFL is calling these illegal formations so often?
I mean, I think with the NFL and the ever evolving playbooks, right? You see guys like Andy Reid getting so creative with his playbook all the time, and now we got all these younger coaches and they're doing it. You see it in Miami, you see it in Philly, you see it in San Francisco. And so with all these different formations, I get why sometimes these refs just sometimes have some good illegal formation calls, and then there's some ones where it's like,
dog, they're calling it when, like, dude's head is almost on the hip, right? Like, he's just like come on. And
they're starting to do it at all levels, honestly. Like, they threatened it at our high school game. They talk about it with our young kids, too, as well. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Well, the thing is, bro, like, this game has been, the rules for this game have been catered so much to the offense, bro.
Yeah.
Like, when is it a matter of time where you can't even rush the quarterback? When is it a matter of time when because basically, dude, that and I'm actually surprised that they're calling the illegal formations as much because, you would figure you want the offense to have as much advantage as possible, but you got to throw the bone to the defense at some point, bro. Yeah. Like, if this dude's already starting out in his fucking pass set, you know what I mean? Like, what are you supposed to do, bro? How are you supposed to get to the quarterback? And especially as quick as some of these quarterbacks get the ball out, dude. So I understand it to a point. It's just crazy, dude. Like, it gets like when these officials get so involved, it lends so much opportunity for criticism. People being like, "Oh, well, Kansas City brought the referees with them," but like, it's not just Kansas City. It happens with a lot of players. It happens with a lot of teams, dude. Where they're just, I don't know, man. It's a different league these days, bro.
It is, but I mean, I think the game has to evolve somehow from the reffing standpoint too, right? And they got to get it wrong in order to correct it. But at the same time, like, it's easy for them to sit there and and call something some bullshit call, but it's a tough pill to swallow when the game's on the line, or when it results in lost points, or you know what I mean, or bad field position. Like, field position's everything in football, and so
But in my opinion, bro, like, the game's always on the line.
Yeah.
Like, that, play 25 versus the last play of the game. Like, the last play of the game's under the microscope more. Like, that toe being out of bounds for the Ravens was under the microscope more. But how many times have we seen a situation where, a penalty on a touchdown early in the game, and then the difference of the score is 5 points.
Yeah.
And that shit comes back to haunt, bro. Like, people always, oh, it's early in the game, that play don't matter. Nah, fucking every play matters, dude. Like, every fucking play matters. And, I don't know, dude. I hate the referees always having, like, a big say in things. But it's also important to get things right, too.
Yeah, and if the rule is the rule, at the end of the day, you're a professional.
Yeah.
You're in the NFL, dog. So, like, if it's an illegal formation, it's an illegal formation. Regardless, it's still the game.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So, do what you got to do. Stop trying to ride that line until you don't get caught. Like, if you're mad about the outcome of the play getting overturned, then don't try all that trickery shit in your playbook.
Get your shit. Well, it's not even trickery, dog. Like the illegal formations that I seen, they weren't even trickery. They were just, lack of focus and not being lined up properly. And
that's even worse.
If you're not coaching it, you're allowing it, right?
That's not even worse. You know what I mean? Like for an NFL player to be aligned improper, or just because you're trying to get that certain type of credit card depth, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter, dog. Like, you're a pro. Get it right.
So let me ask you, dog, since we here right now, who do you see this year, man? Like, it's the first NFL Sunday, right? Who are the sleepers this year? Who do you think's gonna fucking take it far? Like, is Kansas City? Are we looking at an inevitable three-peat from Kansas City? Like, what are your thoughts, dude?
I don't want to say I don't think so, because it sounds like I'm a hater, but I really don't want it to happen.
Well, nobody want it to happen.
I don't want it to happen, dog, because, like,
there's 31 teams out there that don't want that shit to happen.
But they're different, bro. Pat Mahomes is different. Like, he's
that dude, bro.
He's different. Like, he might go down as.
Does he give you a different feeling than Brady did?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely, bro. Like, Brady, you knew in certain situations that Brady was gonna make something happen. But honestly, bro, like, year in and year out, you kind of hear, like, oh, Pat Mahomes missed this piece. Tyreek's gone. This guy's gone.
Dude.
This guy's gone. And he just continues
to Xavier Worthy, dude.
Make things happen. And then they get someone like that with him.
God dang, dude.
Can you imagine, bro, when, like, it's one of those broken plays, dog, and, like, that fool's skirting downfield and Pat Mahomes extends the play for a few seconds and then shows off that arm strength and gets the ball to him? Like, they're going to have some big-time plays this year, those two.
Well, even looking at last year, they didn't have a Tyreek Hill type style. The year before that, they didn't have a Tyreek Hill type style. They still figured this shit out.
Mm-hmm.
And now you give him back?
Well, I think you got one of the greatest coaches. I fucking love Andy.
Offensively, yeah, for sure.
Like, I love Andy Reid, bro. I think he's one of the best coaches to ever do it, in my opinion. And arguably, you already got a guy who's being talked as potentially going down as one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game, bro. And he's
fucking 28 years old.
A young kid.
28 years old, dude.
Like, and let's, even though he's, a chief, has a pretty good fucking track record when it comes to health as well, bro. And I'm going to knock on wood again because I hope he continues that. You never want to see no one, but, like.
And what does he do well? He gets rid of the ball.
He does. He protects himself. Yep. He's a smart football player, bro. He plays, like, you see baseball player, like, thought process within the way he plays the game of football, dog. Like,
and he was a baseball player, so it's funny that you mentioned that.
It's just he fucking is different,
and that's the scary thing about Dylan Raiola.
Yeah,
it's because he looks. I know he trains with the people that Pat has and all that good stuff, and there's connections there. His godfather's fucking Matt Stafford.
No.
Yeah, that's his godfather. His dad played for the Lions for a number of years. So he's been hanging around Matt Stafford and Megatron, and then he's got Pat Mahomes training people. Like, that kid's gonna be a problem, dude. As a freshman, yeah, that kid's gonna be a problem, dog.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the game of college football just to see him do his thing. I hate the fact that it's at Nebraska.
Yeah.
But that kid's gonna be a problem, dog.
Yeah. No, I think the Chiefs, bro, can definitely make a run for it again. I think there are some teams in the AFC that are gonna fucking have something to say about that. But
sure.
I honestly, when I look at it, the teams that I thought were gonna really compete with them, like the Ravens,
I don't believe in the Ravens, dog.
I don't know if I don't know if it's gonna come together. And the more I see it with them, like what we were talking about with CU. Oh fuck, I kind of see that in Baltimore, bro. Like, look, don't get me wrong, Lamar Jackson is fucking phenomenal athlete.
Yeah,
he's a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's a good quarterback. Like, there's a lot. You talk about missed throws. There's a lot of missed throws with him. There's a lot of times where you're like, you should have just thrown that ball. You had the open receiver, but instead you chose to run the 10 yards when you could have easily got a 12-yard reception. You know, like, I question how much Lamar tries to take on himself opposed to how Pat Mahomes makes it a point to make his teammates better. And that's why I think Baltimore struggles a little bit.
It's awesome to be able to have athleticism and a great football player at the quarterback position. Sometimes I wonder, like, you hear people talk about it, like when you're an athlete first and a quarterback second, what's your default? You know what I mean? And default might be for Lamar might be falling back to the athleticism, whereas Mahomes is a very deceitful athlete. You know what I mean? But his default isn't relying on his athleticism. His default, eyes down the field, get rid of the ball. His almost that baseball player, make the smart play. You know what I mean? And that's his default, dude. And I wonder if that's what hinders Lamar, is that's not his default. And as great as a player as he is, and he is a top 15 quarterback for sure. But you've seen it with Michael Vick, bro. When, like, default is default always. You know what I mean? And when you get into fight or flight, what are you gonna fall back to?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I worry about them. Then I also worry about, like, how much of this will have bearing on how Derrick Henry plays and how he feels. How many of those carries that Lamar decides to keep and not give to him in those short yard situations where it's obvious you give it to Derrick. Oh,
that defense is on fire today, dog. I don't just saying.
Yeah, they are. Like when you're an obvious hand the ball to fucking the biggest, best back in the league right now, probably when it comes to short yardage football, you keep it yourself.
And there's got to be a willingness to give it to him, bro.
Yeah, you got to just trust in him. Right?
Yeah.
It almost shows like you don't trust that I can get that, right? And I just don't know if that's going to affect them eventually in the locker room, because Derrick Henry is a star, bro.
Yeah.
He's a star.
Well, he's used to being the focal point of the running game.
He is.
So I'll ask you here in a bit, like, give me 3 teams out the AFC, 3 teams out the NFC that you think you can see playing into February. But what I want to ask first is this new rookie class of players, right? Is there somebody that's kind of like a dark horse to you that maybe is not getting or maybe they are getting the attention, but who do you think is going to stand out most about these rookies, specifically even rookie quarterbacks? Rookie quarterbacks, and it don't have to, like, listen, think defensive rookie of the year, think offensive rookie of the year. Like, is any of these rookies that stand out to you like, yo, this is a no-brainer, this is going to be that dude that's going to make some hay that no one thought of?
I honestly think, like, I don't know how much success the team will have, but I do think one of the guys who's going to make the biggest impact where he's at will be a guy like Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is going to come into Denver and honestly be able to improve that offense that was so bad.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to improve it and probably have the most obvious to that naked eye, to the normal consumer, impact as a rookie quarterback.
For sure.
In my opinion. I was really high on Michael Penix. I don't know what's gonna happen with him eventually when he finally
Yeah, he's gonna have to wait a while. It seems, doesn't it?
when he finally gets his go. But going into him getting drafted, bro, I was really really big on him. Obviously McCarthy going down, like I know a lot of people were big on seeing what he was gonna do, but I think Bo Nix is probably gonna be the most consistent rookie value added to his team.
I got one for you, and since we're at the quarterbacks, I agree with you on Bo Nix. To be honest with you, I think he's going to be great for what the Broncos want to do, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos are better than they were last year, even if the record doesn't show it.
Yeah.
But I think Jaden Daniels is going to come in and have an RG3 effect on the on coincidentally the Washington Commanders. Whether it's sustainable and whether it can last, because we've seen what happened with RG3 when again, if your first option is to be athlete and not quarterback and not protect yourself, NFL stands for not for long.
Yeah.
But I think Jaden Daniels, man, he's so talented. Some argue he might have been the best quarterback coming out in the draft. I think he's gonna have a solid impact on that team this year. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him get some run.
Yeah, I do think one guy I think it's unfortunate for. I think a guy like Caleb Williams is going to have a good year, but I think the bar for him is already set so high that we're not going to appreciate his greatness.
Well, and that could also work in his favor too, though, because they're going to be like, it could be the point where, he doesn't have to do as much extra as some of these other guys have to in order to, like, say, win Rookie of the Year or something like that, right? Because they've already kind of expected it. I think, I didn't want to pick Caleb because he's kind of obvious, and that's where a lot of people are going. And I do think Jaden's going to have a bigger impact on Washington from where they're at versus where Chicago. If you look at Caleb, bro, Caleb got weapons.
Yeah,
Caleb got 3 capable wide receivers. He's got an underrated tight end in Komet. If that offensive line could hold up, and that running game could be anything of decent.
Chicago's going to be a different
team. They're going to be tough, bro. And now with Love getting hurt, right? Love's going to be down for about 3 weeks, bro, with that MCL. So with Love getting hurt, like, and you got Detroit, but things happen in the NFL, bro. You see how close the NFL can be sometimes.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, Green Bay looked good too, though.
They did.
With him in.
Jair Alexander's the dude, bro.
With him in, bro, like with Jordan Love there, I think Green Bay is a threat.
It's funny because that NFC North seemed so weak last year and the year before that, and now they seem like they're back to a point where there's 3 teams that can win that division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Detroit, they're gonna be just as fucking good as they were last year, if not better. Honestly, I'm a real big fan of Amon St. Brown.
Yeah,
like, I think
Dan Campbell's that dude.
Yeah, and I also think Jared Goff, has gotten a lot of grief, and the way Detroit embraced him and showed the NFL essentially that he was the guy that we all thought he was, how good he was, and the comments coming out of when he left the Rams were all just bullshit.
They just casted him out, bro.
They did, and they kind of like fucking almost try to hurt his career, bro. Yeah. And it's sad to see. But it's also kind of cool to see that he's having the success he is, and
he's definitely proved a lot of naysayers wrong. I think he's solidified and earned his spot as a number 1 overall draft pick. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people were calling him a bust, even though he led the Rams to a Super Bowl. I mean, you can't help that he went up against the Patriots and one of the greatest defensive play schemers of all time. What are you supposed to do about that? Mm-hmm. There's 6 other instances where a team went up against the Patriots in the Super Bowl and lost. Mm-hmm. So what makes you special? You know what I mean? I like Jared Goff, man. A lot of other people would have just said fuck it and let the book be written on him. And he was like, nah, there's a rewrite in this book. Mm-hmm. And I root for him. I like Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's a great coach. And let's just go ahead and segue into that, man. Like, if I had to pick 3 teams out the NFC right now that I feel are going to be there, I do see the Lions. I see the Lions. I I kind of have a feeling for the Packers too, just because if Jordan Love's healthy, they proved to be a different team last year when he started coming along and started making some moves and some headway. I like to say San Francisco, but I honestly, bro, I think there might be a letdown coming with San Francisco this year.
Really?
I really do, bro. You mentioned Christian McCaffrey. If that guy's hurt, that offense is different.
It is.
Ayuk got paid. How hungry is he?
Yeah. They still got weapons, bro.
There's other guys out there though, but I'm saying there's like when you have all these distractions of like people wanting to get paid, and they should, bro. Like they've earned it, dude. Like them guys have earned the pay, right? But when you get some of them distractions out there, dude, it makes me sometimes it takes away from football. It takes away from just playing ball, dude.
And they're I don't know, bro, but their defense is ridiculous.
It
too.
is.
Like, I honestly, for me, in the NFC, it would be the three favorites.
Yeah.
To me, it'd be Philly, it'd be the Niners, and it'd be Detroit, who I'd pick out of the NFC. Quick, easy ones, I'd pick them. Now, of course, there's going to be some teams that are going to be those sleeper teams, like you said, like Green Bay, right? If Jordan Love is healthy, Green Bay is dangerous, I think.
What do you think about Tampa? Do you think Baker's going to have himself a season like last year, or do you think it's going to be a little more like previous Baker?
No, I think you will see a push out of Tampa. I think Baker has proven to be a competitor, dog. Like he's going to compete, and as long as he's in there and he has weapons around him to compete with, he's going to compete. And he still has Mike Evans, right? Let's not get it twisted. They still got Mike Evans. They still got a great running back, tandem actually. And I feel like,
dog, is Mike Evans one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL?
Absolutely. You know who Mike Evans reminds me of?
Who's that?
Vincent Jackson. I think Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson
R.I.P.
are honestly a lot of similarities there, bro. Dude. Same body type, same type of receiver, and very
underappreciated like a mother, bro. Yep. Nah, dude, that's actually a great comparison, dude. UNC representative up there, Vincent Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, that dude was a good wide receiver for a very, very, very long time, bro. And I feel the same way about Mike Evans, dog. He might be my favorite wide receiver.
Really?
I think so, dude. There's something to be said about, dog. He could have chased the bag a long time ago.
He could have.
He could have chased the bag a long time ago. He's never made the game about him. Benefited from being with Tom Brady. Like, dude, Mike Evans is that dude, bro.
What am I doing?
He's such a good wide receiver. He's such a good football player, dude.
Yeah.
I love Mike Evans.
Yeah, no, he is my new favorite receiver, bro.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's dope, dude.
Like,
I
just
him a lot
love
too.
His mentality, bro.
Yeah.
It's not the size of the dog either, and that fool is a dog, bro. Like, if there was anybody that I wanted to, like, who is one of the toughest motherfuckers in the NFL and is going to give you everything he has, that's who I'm going for, that dude, bro. Like, he's a fucking monster.
Nah, he's good for sure.
Since we're on topic, AFC.
Yo.
Chiefs.
That's it? That's that it? There's not two more?
Nah, I think you're going to have teams like the Ravens. They're going to be up there, bro. I think the Ravens will be a playoff team. But Pittsburgh got better. I don't know if Pittsburgh got good enough to win the division, so I don't know if they'll have that much of a run.
Does Cleveland have a letdown? Do they fall back?
I don't know if it's a letdown because I think the expectations from Cleveland are not to be one of the top teams this year.
Shit, too. They got a great defense, and they did everything they did last year with Flacco. They got to have – Deshaun Watson better come through on that goddamn contract. I'll tell you that much.
But no one's talking about Cleveland.
You're right.
Like, no one's talking about them. So there's – again, it's the Chiefs in the AFC, bro. Like, and so I think as long as the Chiefs are there, it's going to continue to be the Chiefs' way, and no one's going to really be thinking about any other team. So – I don't know if it'll be a letdown for Cleveland. I think Cleveland will still be a good team, a playoff team potentially. I think we'll see more of a letdown from Cincinnati than Cleveland.
Damn, really?
I do. I also wonder, can Tony Pollard add anything to Tennessee? I don't think they'll be really a threat there. I think they're going to take some steps back. I think they
What about
already
Houston?
been on a downward. That would be my sleeper team. I think C.J. Stroud is crazy, phenomenal. Coaching staff, I love their coaching staff there too. I think Houston can make a run, bro. I just don't know if anybody has the grit to beat the Chiefs like that. The Chiefs just in the situations where they're not supposed to do well, that's when they're the best. And that's what was the best about Tom Brady, bro. Like when you thought the chips were stacked against him, he wasn't gonna do anything. He came out and did it anyway.
Yeah.
And I think, damn, this guy hasn't had one reception all game. I'm tripping.
It's funny that you mentioned that, like, the chip stacked against you and you're going to come through now because no one expects anything out of you. My 3 AFC teams, obviously the Chiefs are one. I'd say Houston is the second one. The third one, though, comes out that AFC East. And it's not the team you think I'm going to say. And it's a team I hate to say. But I actually think Buffalo is probably – if they can get by Sean McDermott being a shitty head coach, I think Buffalo is going to be all right. Reason I say that, man, is Josh Allen now doesn't have a guy he has to feed.
Was that fourth down?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm tripping, bro. I ain't even paying attention.
Josh Allen doesn't have a guy he has to feed. And then I think, man, as much as it pains me to say this, I think there's some coming back to earth for Miami.
Yeah.
And, I could see a situation where Buffalo, I like Keon out there at wide receiver. Rookie. I love rookie wide receivers. Second round pick. Not as much being said about him. He was great at Florida State. You know what I mean? I think Buffalo has a chance, but here's the thing.
I don't know, man. I'm interested to see what Rodgers is gonna do with the Jets. Honestly,
dog, I think that's just gonna go bad.
Do you?
I think it's gonna go bad. Like they've got a lot of shit going on. They got Rodgers, with everything that he brings in terms of like attention and not necessarily distraction, but distraction. And then you've got Hassan Reddick, who is holding out. His band holding out. That dude's forfeited like $2 million already in the holdout. I think that's I don't know, dude. Like I'm not a big believer in the Jets, bro.
Yeah.
Robert Saleh, he's a great defensive coach. They're gonna have a great defense.
Defense wins championships, and when you have a great let's think about when Aaron Rodgers. He's always been a great quarterback, but the years he won it,
great defenses.
He had great defenses, bro. You think about
guys like Capers when they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and guys like Charles Woodson on his defense, right? I honestly think that defense is going to keep them in so many of their games that it's going to be easy for Rodgers to win.
Coincidentally, when they won the Super Bowl, they had a great defense, but going into the actual Super Bowl, they were depleted. So many injured people.
Yeah.
I think Woodson got injured in the Super Bowl, and they won it. But we're an hour and 15 in this motherfucker. Let me ask you a question. If you had to rank the 3 teams in terms of numbers of wins this year, start 1 to 3, Raiders, Broncos, Jets. Who has more wins?
Jets.
Jets 1. Who's 2? It's a tough one, huh? Because you guys got a question mark at quarterback.
We do. And honestly, I feel like we have a question mark as a team still. Yeah. I still don't know if, I love the mentality that AP brings to us, bro. I love the mentality. But I'm worried that what we kind of see in CU,
yep,
that we might see with AP, right? He's more of the prime effect. Like he's a
shit. Fucking touchdown I just gave you.
He's a star. He's a star, right? But is he a football coach? He's played football, but can that translate to coaching football?
Yeah.
And how much of not having a guy who really knows X's and O's and scheming things up, how much is that going to hurt us? And I worry about that just a little bit. Like, how far will our natural talent take us?
Yeah, because I think they wrote a lot of emotion last year to some victories.
Yeah, but we're talented. Like, we have a lot of talent on our team. So I think, honestly, we'll still have a better record than Denver. But that's also me just
I think too.
hoping.
Josh McDaniels was such a train wreck.
He was, bro.
He was such a train wreck that adding AP had to help. I mean, you guys had decent talent last year, probably about the same talent you had this year. You know what I mean? So I think we've seen McDaniels is not a head coach. You know what I mean, in the league.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders are a playoff team. Let me tell you why. The one thing that I feel good about, kind of, is I kind of think that Minshew brings the Tebow effect. Tebow magic, Minshew magic. I think we have a good enough team to be in some games. We lost a lot of close games. And I think in those games that we lost, those close games that we lost, I think Minshew would be the guy to be able to figure it out and get it done.
So is that your starting quarterback this year and for the whole year, Minshew? Or do you think Aiden McConnell got any hope?
No.
No, you're done with him?
You can't go – I'm a firm believer that it's too hard to, start with the quarterback.
Shit. I'm just getting careless over here. I'm going to give this game back to you, dog.
Start with the quarterback and then fucking – pull him, a young guy, and then go back to him. I just don't think it. I don't think it works out with us. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone soon.
Okay.
And us invest in another.
Do you think if Atlanta wouldn't have done the crazy shit and drafted Penix Jr., do you think the Raiders would have drafted him last year this draft?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would have hoped so.
Because that's where the buzz was at. That's what everyone was thinking. Because he was a guy that just off of age. Someone that can come in and play right away, and they definitely could have used him. I think he's an upgrade over McConnell and probably potentially long-term wise an upgrade over Minshew. Yeah, I think you're right with Gardner Minshew, bro. He does have that Tebow effect, bro, that just you can't explain why he wins or why he does some of the shit he does, but he just does it, and he's corny, but these dudes, they follow him. You know what I mean? That's definitely fact.
Who do you think?
Who do I think what?
You did your same question.
My list of those three? I think
Oh, come on, dog. That's another pick.
I don't think either of those three get to the playoffs.
Okay.
I think all three of them are right around 500.
Okay.
I'll go Denver 8-9, the Raiders 8-9. And I think the Jets are 7-10. And it's hard to say that about an Aaron Rodgers football team.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen anything out of Aaron Rodgers' existence in New York. Obviously, last year was short-lived. And he's 40-plus years old, bro. Mm-hmm. I know how I feel sometimes after running around on the football field with them kids for a little while. You know what I mean? So I know how I feel. I can't imagine how he's going to feel either. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, dude. I think they're all close, but I do think Denver, Las Vegas, and the Jets are going to be, that order.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think the Jets finish just behind Miami. I think Miami's looking at a 9-7 season or 9-8 season. The thing with Miami, bro, they're a little too finesse for me. You know what I'm saying? They're a little too speed. And that shit don't translate in the playoffs. And when the weather gets cold, that shit does not translate. And it's been like that. It's been like that throughout Miami's history.
Chiefs, right? The Chiefs are I guess the Chiefs run downhill. They're speed, but they're also downhill.
Dog, Andy Reid's play calling, their running game is their short passing game is an extension of their run game. Yeah. And he's the GOAT at it. Mm-hmm. McDaniels comes from that Shanahan tree, and that's all nice and dandy. They don't run that zone game like Shanahan used to run that zone game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about the fact that they fucking play in 80 and 90 degree temperatures for fucking 3/4 of the season,
mm-hmm.
and then have to go up. Dog, you.
Yeah, no, you're right.
They lost. Look, when they lost to the Bills last year at the end of the season, that fucking sealed their fate. Mm-hmm. Because they're not going on the road to Kansas City. They're not going on the road to Buffalo. Fuck, they ain't coming on the road to Denver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once that temperature dips below 40, dog, and it's a mindset.
Yeah. So if this would never happen in the Super Bowl, but we did just play a Super Bowl game. We obviously can't be the two NFC teams there, but Detroit won this Super Bowl, and Amon St. Brown was the MVP. Jared Goff threw for 370 yards
and 4 touchdowns. How the fuck he ain't need the MVP, dog?
Because those 4 touchdowns were to Monson.
Maybe a couple interceptions, but
but Detroit could be that team, bro. I would love to see the Motor City get one, dog.
You know what? That's why Jared Goff didn't get 3 interceptions.
Yeah,
I think that would be cool to see Detroit win it. You know what'd be cool? It'd be cool to see Houston and Detroit in the Super Bowl.
It would be. I mean, we talked about that last year.
Yeah, it would.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see them together. Honestly, if Cleveland could figure it out, it would be cool to see Cleveland and Detroit in the Super Bowl.
Get some new blood
bro.
in that mug.
Like, it would be nice, but I do think it's going to be the Chiefs.
If you had to pick your Super Bowl right now,
Chiefs, Philly.
Rematch. Okay. I'm not going to answer. Yo, it's going to be. It's going to what?
Philly's going to win.
Like that, huh?
Philly's going to win the Super Bowl.
I'm going to go Detroit.
35-21.
I'm going to go Detroit. God damn, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. I'm going to go Detroit in the NFC. And Mahomes is going to get into another AFC championship game.
And lose.
And they're going to fall just short to Houston because Houston's going to have home field advantage.
But then that bodes well for a team like Miami.
It does. But here's the thing.
Miami,
if they make the playoffs, they're going to be on the road in the first round. And they're going to be on the road to to Houston, Kansas City, or Buffalo. Because I think Buffalo's going to win the AFC East. Mm-hmm. And so I think Miami can get in as a wild card team, but they're going to have to go on the road again. And until they prove me wrong, they're not doing it on the road. Now, if they go to play Houston in the first round on the road, that bodes well for them. But DeMeco Ryans is the dude. Stroud is the dude. And that defense is legit.
Slick, bro.
Here's what I think. That defense going to make a play against Pat Mahomes late in the game in the AFC Championship. That's going to seal the deal for Houston to go to their first Super Bowl. And we're going to have, for the first time ever or the first time in a long time, 2 teams who ain't never been to the Super Bowl in the Super Bowl.
That'll be nice.
What was the color of the logo? We gotta see if the if the fucking conspiracy theories work, right? The color of the 2 teams in the logo, you know what I mean? I think I'm rooting to see Detroit in there. I'm not rooting for Detroit. I'm not a Detroit fan, but I am a fan of Dan Campbell, and I would love the comeback story for Jared Goff. And I think Jared Goff outduels the young C.J. Stroud, and Detroit wins the Super Bowl 34-29.
34-29. Let's see what.
Oh, MVP? Amon St. Brown.
Let's see what the Super Bowl colors are.
Yo, dude. I don't know about you, but this has been a fun little episode.
This has been. I love football, bro. So the more we could talk about football, the better I am.
Do you, before we go, if you had to choose, between college, fucking Chiefs and Niners again.
Chiefs and Niners, or is that like green?
If you had to choose between college football
Packers
and professional football, to go to a game, and be at a game, which would you choose?
Oh, that's tough. That's a tough one.
That's our mailbag question of the day.
Because I love the college environment. Like the atmosphere of a college football game there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
There's really nothing like it.
Yeah.
But to be able to any game. To be able to go and watch
and let's not
watch Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Let's not make it a neutral site play. Let's make it a home game. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Go to Heinz Field right? Or M&T Bank Stadium, either one of their, even one of their stadiums
in December with the season on the line,
and the cold, dog, and watch those two teams play would be fucking dope.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, or to go to KC and watch the Chiefs play either the Broncos, Raiders, or Chargers in Arrowhead is a dope game.
But it'd also be dope to be down in Austin seeing Alabama, Texas play, or being in Tuscaloosa seeing Alabama and Auburn play, or Alabama and Texas.
It would be, but like,
dog,
I don't know.
So I'm gonna tell you right now.
Hard to see Notre Dame.
I've been to a ton of the Broncos games. You know, got to see the Broncos Dolphins play a few times. Got to see Broncos Raiders, which was fucking intense.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing matching up to what we saw last year at CU. Just CU, CSU.
That was a different type of game, though, bro.
Dog, but it was the atmosphere was crazy.
You're
though.
Right. The atmosphere.
Now, CU, Folsom holds like 50,000.
Frankie plays Monday night. Or suiting up.
Really? That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's
I was
what's
honestly
up.
thinking about. I mean, we got practice.
Big shout out,
high
Frankie.
School practice, but I was honestly thinking about just randomly getting out of work and driving up there with the family.
What is it, like 4-5 hour drive?
Go watching him.
So listen, Linda, listen. Think about that experience last year, 50,000 people.
Yeah.
Now double that shit at the big house in Michigan. Double that shit down in Tuscaloosa.
You know what?
Double that shit. Ohio State, Michigan at the fucking horseshoe.
I actually lie. I would go.
Dog.
I would go there.
Dog.
I'd go there.
Dog.
That's where I would.
I love NFL football.
I wouldn't honestly mind watching Ohio State, Michigan, at Michigan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, no, you're right, bro. In the band, boom.
Dude, I love pro football.
Should the NFL introduce a band?
Fucking, who was it? The Baltimore Colts back in the day had one. I think Baltimore Ravens now have one. Look into it. I believe they have one.
That would be kind of dope.
Dog. I did that Ballo Evergreen game on Friday, and it was nice hearing that drum line.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that, bro. And that's why to me, and the fact that fucking 75% of them players on the field, when it's all said and done, they be selling insurance and shit.
Yeah.
There ain't gonna be no pro. There ain't that many pro. There gonna be regular dudes working that grind of 9 to 5.
I don't know though. Not the ones that we're really cheering for. Most of them motherfuckers got these NIL deals that are making.
Okay, but they're not playing at the pro level.
Yeah, so
there's that. So that's what I mean though. Like in the NFL, they're all pros.
Yeah.
In college, man, these dudes are gonna be doing something different, and so they get to. We talked about it all the time with the young guys. Hey, cherish these moments because when you're a senior, it just ends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the reality, because the guys that are lucky enough to go to the next level and play college, a lot of them, when it ends, it's over.
Yeah.
And you'll never do it again.
Yeah.
So I think that, dude, I love pro football, but I would be at a college game.
Yeah.
I'd be at a college game.
National championship or Super Bowl. Or a Super Bowl. We could go forever.
That's a tough one, dog.
Because the show behind the Super Bowl?
Yeah. That's a tough one just because the whole week.
Yeah.
The whole week.
Yeah.
You know. But I guess it depends on who's in the natty, though.
Nah, I think Super Bowl.
Super Bowl for me, too.
Super Bowl takes it.
Super Bowl for me, too.
Man, this was fun, bro.
Hey, bro.
We got to do this more often.
We got to do it again.
But
we should do it again sometime.
You know.
Yo, September 22nd.
It's going down.
Sunday. All Out 3. Your boys are going to be on the microphone and on the stream. Make sure you hit up our YouTube channel. If you're here watching this now, make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn that notification on so you get these notifications. But we'll be out there. It's going to be a action-packed night of boxing. Mario and his squad out there, they always do it big. And there's always some excitements. We'll go live stream with a pregame, with a little pregame show, and the whole 9. So I'm excited for this. I'm excited to get it popping, and I know you are too. Y'all better be there to tune in, man, because it's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
And as always, you want us to come live stream your sporting event? Hit us up.
Yes, sir.
Hit us up. Let's make something happen.
Shout out to the Colorado Wolfpack, baby.
Wolfpack, baby. Hey, we're 2-1, should be 3-0, but we're coming.
Yeah.
And hey, we're not going to get on the internet and talk about we the best team in this and that, and we don't give a shit about that. We're gonna line up between the lines, and we're gonna put our best team effort forward and try to make it happen like that. We're not gonna come talk about it because, we ain't talk about it. We be about it.
Yeah, and we ain't gonna duck none of the best teams either. Nah. So we're excited to line up against who you call the best teams.
Yep.
Because we love the smoke.
Yeah.
But we're definitely not gonna talk about it. We're gonna be about it.
Only ducks here is Donald and Daffy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they ain't on our squad.
Yeah.
But shout out to Inkless Laser, Icon Sales and Boxing, Anytime Flood Restoration, Zach G and the Play Harder Podcast, Black Sevens, Lash All Beauty, Cutthroat Barbers and Anglers, the Canyon Fly Shop, and you said it yourself, boy. CO Wolfpack, Colorado Wolfpack. Make sure you go follow them on the socials. Make sure you check the website, DNASportsdenver.com. You fucking slow with that. Also, DNA Youth Sports coming soon, DNAYouthSports.org.
Yeah.
Make sure you get up on that. For my partner, Dom, man, hey, it's always fun doing this. It's always fun previewing the season, dog.
Man,
we're in it now.
I can't wait to call this boxing event. It's always a great event. I hope everybody's tuned in. Make sure, like he said, like, comment, subscribe, check out all of our socials, and tell a friend to tell a friend.
On that note, man, we out of here. Peace.